Welcome back. You are watching Breakfast. Well, in 1999, 7 people were tragically killed in a rail accident in Glenbrook in New South Wales. 4 years later, another disaster, a rail disaster at Waterfall. 7 people were killed there. The train driver there had a heart attack. An inquiry was launched into both of these accidents and recommendations were handed down by the McInerney inquiry. Today, the train union is up in arms because the National Transport Commission is arguing to remove caps on working hours for train drivers. To discuss this further, Bob Nanva is the National Secretary of the Rail and Tram and Bus Union and joins me now. Can I ask you, Bob, what are your concerns over these recommendations, which in a nutshell say we're going to remove the caps of 12 hours driving shifts for our drivers? So essentially, I guess they could work longer than 12 hours, which would contribute to fatigue.
That's right. Look, anyone will tell you that drowsy drivers die. That applies equally on our motorways as it does on our railways. We have independent research that has said that anyone that works above 8-hour shift lengths puts themselves and passengers at significant risk of injury and accidents. What the NTC is effectively saying is we're going to reduce maximum shift lengths, we're going to reduce rest breaks in legislation, and what that effectively is code for is allowing rail workers and train drivers to work longer shifts with fewer breaks, and we think that's a recipe for disaster. It certainly goes against everything the McInerney inquiry concluded some years ago. OK, so why is this happening then? The McInerney inquiry, as I said, was in relation to those 2 very fatal and tragic accidents in 1999 and 2003. Are all states and territories working under different guidelines? Is this a way to harmonise the rules and regulations for trains? What's currently taking place right now is there are moves to harmonise rail safety laws across Australia. We think that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to raise the bar and to ensure that the best practice rail safety laws are applied across Australia. What the NTC has done through its recommendations, which are without evidence, without scientific basis, is to reduce rail safety laws to the lowest common denominator, including taking the hacksaw to these maximum shift lengths and minimum rest breaks. Well, now, the NTC would probably say in rebuttal to that is that it's not about the length of the shift, but it's about the length of the time between shifts, and their recommendations are actually safer because it also includes signallers and the safety of other rail workers. Look, what they have said and what they have concluded in their recommendations are tenuous, without scientific basis, and go against the McInerney inquiry following the Waterfall and Glenbrook tragedies. Monash and Sydney universities have said unequivocally that if you remove legislated limits with shift lengths and minimum rest breaks, you are exposing workers and passengers to a high risk of injury. I'm not a scientific expert, but certainly I'm not going to go against what Monash and Sydney universities have said. What the NTC has effectively come up with is a range of assumptions, a range of hypotheticals without basis, and really I think they have lost all credibility because they are also going against worldwide standard practice in first world developed rail countries without any basis for doing so. OK, there's still recommendations at this stage. They could change, I guess. Bob Nanva, thank you very much for your time today. Well,